The wheel. Imagine a time when humans had to drag everything around. Literally. One day, someone saw a round stone rolling down a hill and thought, hey, that's easier. And voila, the wheel was born around 3500 BC. It started as a simple wooden disc and evolved into the fancy tires on your bike today. And here's a fun fact: the first wheels weren't used for transport but for pottery. Printing press. Sharing stories meant writing each copy by hand. Talk about hand cramps. Enter Johannes Gutenberg in the 15th century with his brilliant idea, the printing press. It used movable type to print books quickly and cheaply. The first bestseller, the Gutenberg Bible. It revolutionized the spread of information. Telephone. Imagine a world where chatting with friends meant shouting across fields or sending letters by snail mail. Along came Alexander Graham Bell in 1876, who had a wild idea. What if we could talk to each other through a wire? He invented the telephone. Fun fact: the first words ever spoken on it were, "Mr. Watson, come here, I want to see you." It transformed global communication. No carrier pigeons required. Light bulb. Picture this. It's the late 19th century, and folks are still relying on candles and gas lamps to light up their lives. Talk about dim. Along came Thomas Edison, a man with a bright idea, literally. He tinkers day and night until voila, in 1879 he perfects the incandescent light bulb. A fun fact: Edison didn't just stumble upon this, he tried over 1,000 different materials for the filament. Talk about dedication. Legend has it his friends teased him, saying, "Tom, when are you gonna give us a bright idea?" Well, joke's on them, because now we can all see in the dark. Airplane. Enter the Wright brothers, Orville and Wilbur. In 1903, after years of tinkering in their bicycle shop, they took to the skies in the world's first successful powered flight. A fun fact, their first plane, the Wright Flyer, only flew for 12 seconds. Imagine their faces when they landed. They probably said, "Did we just do that?" From that day on, the sky wasn't the limit anymore. Internet. Born in the 1960s, this network of networks grew from a military project into a global phenomenon. By the 1990s, it was the coolest kid on the block, connecting millions of computers faster than you can say, "You've got mail." The internet turned the world into a giant chat room, where cat videos reigned supreme and memes spread faster than the common cold. It gave us instant access to information, online shopping sprees, and the ability to argue with strangers at 3 a.m. Personal computer. Then, in the late 20th century, tech rebels like Apple and IBM had a wild idea. What if we shrink these monsters and put them in people's homes? Enter the personal computer, or PC, the digital Swiss Army knife that would change everything. These boxy marvels turned living rooms into offices and bedrooms into arcade halls. Suddenly, everyone could be a computer whiz, or at least pretend to be. From clunky keyboards to sleek touchscreens, PCs evolved faster than you could say floppy disk. They gave us spreadsheets for work, games for play, and a perfect excuse for ignoring family dinners. Penicillin. In 1928, scientist Alexander Fleming returned from vacation to find his lab a mess. Amidst the chaos, he spotted something peculiar: a moldy petri dish where bacteria feared to tread. This happy accident led to the discovery of penicillin, the wonder drug that would make germs shake in their microscopic boots. Fleming's funky fungus became the first true antibiotic, turning the tables on nasty bacteria that had been bullying humanity for millennia. Suddenly, infections that were once deadly became about as threatening as a paper cut. Penicillin became the superhero of medicine, saving countless lives and making surgeries less of a gamble. It even played a starring role in World War II, helping wounded soldiers and earning the nickname Yellow Magic. Internal combustion engine. The internal combustion engine, the little powerhouse that could. This mechanical marvel turned a bit of fuel and a spark into a revolution on wheels. Invented in the 19th century, it quickly became the heart of the automobile, transforming horse-drawn carriages into horseless wonders. Suddenly, road trips became a thing, and are we there yet? Entered the family vocabulary. But this feisty engine didn't stop at cars. It took to the skies, making airplanes possible and giving birds some serious competition. On the ground, it powered everything from lawnmowers to generators, making work easier and leisure noisier. With a bang and a whoosh, the internal combustion engine roared its way into history, forever changing how we move, work, and complain about traffic. Steam engine. Thomas Newcomen had a steamy idea. He invented the first practical steam engine, turning boiling water into mechanical might. But it was James Watt who later supercharged this invention, making it the hottest thing since sliced bread, which, incidentally, hadn't been invented yet. The steam engine became the rock star of the Industrial Revolution, pumping water from mines, powering factories, and making trains go choo-choo. It turned quiet towns into bustling cities and gave birth to the first rush hour, though it was more of a rush crawl back then. This puffing powerhouse changed everything, from how we worked to how we traveled. It even inspired the phrase letting off steam, because sometimes, like people, these engines just needed to vent. Electricity generation. In the dark ages before Netflix, brilliant minds like Michael Faraday and Nikola Tesla were busy cooking up a storm. An electrical storm, that is. They discovered how to harness the power of spinning magnets to create electricity, essentially turning motion into light and heat faster than you can say Eureka! This shocking discovery lit up the world, literally, powering everything from toasters to smartphones. Suddenly, humans could work after sunset without setting their beards on fire, and refrigerators became the coolest invention ever. Electricity generation turned cities into dazzling spectacles and gave us the ability to binge-watch our favorite shows until 3 a.m. It's the invisible force that keeps our modern world humming, from the smallest village to the largest metropolis. Automobile. Once upon a time, getting around was a real horse and buggy affair. Then along came Carl Benz and his pals who thought, why not stick an engine in a carriage and see what happens? The result? The automobile, a horseless wonder that would change the world faster than you can say road trip. These four-wheeled freedom machines quickly went from clunky contraptions to sleek speedsters. Suddenly, Sunday drives became a thing, and, are we there yet, became the anthem of backseat bandits everywhere. The car industry boomed, giving us everything from family sedans to muscle cars that could outrun a cheetah on a good day. It revolutionized dating. Hello, drive-in movies, work commutes, and the art of parallel parking. Today, cars are everywhere, turning every road into a potential adventure, or a traffic jam. Television. In the roaring 1920s, while most folks were doing the Charleston, inventors like John Logie Baird and Philo Farnsworth were busy creating the ultimate couch potato enabler, the television. These wizards of wire and glass managed to squeeze moving pictures into a box, bringing Hollywood glamour and world events right into living rooms. Suddenly, families had a new reason to fight over the comfy chair and argue about what to watch. TV quickly became the center of home entertainment, serving up everything from soap operas to moon landings. It gave us catchphrases, cartoon characters, and countless reasons to procrastinate. Who knew a glowing box could be so captivating? From bulky black and white sets to flat-screen marvels, televisions evolve faster than you can change channels. It's the window to the world that sometimes makes us forget there's a real one outside. Transistor. In 1947, while most people were busy swinging to jazz, a group of brainy folks at Bell Labs created something truly tiny but mighty, the transistor. This itty-bitty electronic switch, smaller than a fingernail, would go on to revolutionize technology faster than you can say semiconductor. It was like giving electronics a super shrink ray, allowing devices to get smaller, faster, and more powerful. The transistor quickly became the superhero of the tech world, replacing clunky vacuum tubes and paving the way for everything from pocket radios to supercomputers. It's the reason your smartphone is smarter than the computers that sent astronauts to the moon and fits in your pocket, unlike those room sized behemoths. Today, billions of transistors work tirelessly in our gadgets, proving that sometimes the biggest revolutions come in the smallest packages. Smartphone. Once upon a time, phones were just for talking, computers stayed on desks, and maps were made of paper. Then came the smartphone, the Swiss Army knife of the digital age. This pocket-sized wizard combines the powers of a phone, computer, camera, GPS, and more, creating a device so addictive it's practically glued to our hands. Suddenly, we could post selfies, order pizza, and settle bar bets without leaving our seats. The smartphone turned everyone into a photographer, gave us apps for everything, including apps we never knew we needed, and made "Is there Wi-Fi here?" the modern equivalent of "What's the meaning of life?" From flip phones to folding screens, these digital Swiss Army knives keep evolving, proving that the best computer is the one you can accidentally drop in the toilet.